Have you ever wanted to experiment with your fabric beyond just the normal sit down, slow stitch, whatever we're going to do? Um, we sometimes we hold ourselves back from trying something new because we think it's going to be too complicated, too hard. We can't do it. But this is one form of fabric art that anybody can do. If you can use a pair of scissors, if you can use a little tacking iron, if you can just follow a few simple directions, you got this, because it's so easy to do. Now, here's a couple of pieces that I've done recently, and these are, I just love them. They are just ready to be framed and used as home decor. Whatever you want to do with it, actually. They'd be pretty pillow fronts, just different things like that. But making our own artwork for our home is so satisfying. And if we can do that, and we can do that with minimal expense, using a lot of the fabrics that we already have, and just following a few little directions and guidelines, and we can do it. So let me show you what I'm going to be showing in this course. We're going to be using a guide that looks something like this. I'm going to be working an approximate 8 by 10 size, and this is going to be my inspiration. This is what everyone who follows this will be able to use. We do not have to do this exactly. That's not what this is about. This is only to give us composition, placing, some ideas of how we want to do things. Some of us, we want to do a floral, but we don't have a clue. Where do we put the leaf? How do we position our flowers? How big should the pot be? All these different things. So this is just a starting place for us. But isn't it nice to have a starting place? When we get our background fabric ready, when we start positioning our fabrics on here, this is going to be so colorful and so fun. And we're just going to love what we're doing. By the way, my name is Linda, if you haven't been here before, and I live in the rolling hills of Northeast Texas, USA. And I'm really pleased that you're thinking about working with me on this beautiful project. We'll be creating our own version of this little flower arrangement, and it's suitable for our home decor or for gifting. Now, let me give you a project overview, and the guide photo and the supply list here will both be available to you through email. And so you'll have these at your disposal if you are thinking about continuing with this project. This is a fusible web technique, and it utilizes a variety of quilting quality cottons and a fusible web product. We will build it layer by layer, much like an artist paints on a canvas. Now, your materials and tools list. I use a lot of batiks for obvious reasons because of the color and value changes throughout. I always check the back of the fabrics because many times I can utilize both sides of the fabric. Often the back side will give us a lighter muted shade, and it's very helpful in creating the light and shadow effects that we will want to use at times. Before buying additional fabrics, I always check my stash to see what will work for the current task. And when buying fabrics for a specific project, I find that just a charm pack of batiks or similar products, solids even, will give me the tones and variety that I need. You will need different values, a very light, a medium, and a dark, of different colors. but you don't want to use fabrics that have distinct motifs or design or patterns, because they won't blend well, okay? That changes if you're specifically looking for leaves, grass, bark, stone, flowers, something like that. Then you might want to use something different. For instance, let me show you. In this piece here, I used this patterned fabric for the bark of the tree that this was growing on. Worked very good for that, okay? I also used a fabric that had distinct flowers in it, and I fussy cut those out, all right? So that worked well for me on that. Now, on this one, I simply cut shapes out of other less distinct pieces, like, for instance, pieces like these, this, and then these don't have distinct patterns that they won't blend and become whatever it is I want them to become, okay? That gives you some kind of idea of what I'm talking about there. Now, too, you'll need a pair of scissors, tweezers, a tacking iron. Let me grab my tacking iron here and show you. This is my tacking iron. It's quite old, but it's still working good. And Clover puts it out. I believe Clover is the name of it. And it's just what it says it is. It's a tiny little iron, but it works on, as you're working on smaller pieces, and you just want to tack a little area at a time. You can do that with the tacking iron. And that's how I build the whole thing. And when I'm finished, then I will take it to my ironing mat and I will iron the whole thing down, front and back, to make sure that it's securely adhered all the way through. So a regular iron and pressing mat is also good. Background fabric. I prefer black fabric. Now this is some I had. It was just a flannel, a little heavier, but the backside was solid black, so I've been using that, and sad to say, I'm down to my last little couple pieces. So I will be looking for some heavier broadcloth or something similar to this. It's not too heavy, but it's a really nice weight. And being able to work on black makes the colors really pop, and I really like that. And while this is a collage effect, if we ever do a mosaic in a course, then the black becomes like the grout between the pieces. For instance, on this one, if you look at the little pieces I stuck right here, just like little mosaic pieces, you can see that I left just a little black in between them. And that's how you would work a mosaic all the way around, okay? So that may be a later course if anyone's interested. But so that background piece needs to be, if we're doing an 8 by 10 or whatever size you decide to do, the background piece needs to be 3 inches larger on all sides. So for instance, my 8 by 10, I would need a piece that was 11 by 13 of black fabric. That's 3 inch, gives me a 3-inch border all the way around that 8 by 10 center. Okay, that's because a lot of times I like to build my own border with fabric, and that gives me room to do that. It also gives me room for framing inside a mat when I want to do that. Now the fusible web that I use is, I like Wonder Under medium weight, but you can buy whatever fusible web you like. Misty Fuse, Heat and Bond, Steam and Seam, those are different brand names of different fusible webs, and whatever you want to use is fine. Your work surface, you can see I've got a large padded quilters thing here. It's old, it's really grungy, but it works fine, because when you're working on these, a lot of times the glue factor You might get some glue off of a piece on the side or something like that. But it just gives you a good, it's padded, you can iron on it, it's heat resistant for that. And I can also pin into it if I want to. It gives me a large surface around to lay pieces that I'm working with. And so I just really like this large quilter's padded thing here. Whatever you call this. The brand name of this is June Taylor, but I've had this for 15 years probably, and you can see it's a cushion quilter square and blocker. Mine isn't too much square anymore. I've used it so much, but use that. It's perfect. And I will tilt mine a lot of times at the back, and so it gives me a little tilted place to work. Now, a photo guide, like I said, and printed instructions are available to anyone who emails me, and my email is in the description of all my videos, so it's easy to find. I also, at times, for detailing, I will use colored pencils, ink tints, watercolors, or fabric markers. I don't really use fabric paints, but these others are just, they give me what I need at the time. And all of those, once they're pressed in, are really heat set, and they don't smear or things like that. So when I start this project, I will be uploading a video every week on Sunday. So it'll be progressive until that project ends. We don't rush it. There's no rushing to it. When I put this first video up, I will be waiting a couple of weeks, because I will give everyone who's interested 2 or 3 weeks to gather their supplies and be ready to email me to get their guide print and things like that before I actually start uploading the process files. So if you see this and you wonder, okay, next Sunday, how come a video didn't come out? Just give me 2 or 3 weeks so that everyone can kind of get on the same page and have something to work with, so they can work along with me on this. Working along with me will be very beneficial instead of trying to watch all the videos and then go back and try to do it again and things like that. So this is my first course set that I'm doing here, and I'm going to be doing it on this fusible technique because I think it's wonderful. I think it's doable for everybody. I think it's cost effective. All right, let me show you also, like I said, I've done this for years. So I have a collection of fabrics. And like I said, when I started with charm, sets of charm packages of solids and batiks. And then I started adding specialty fabrics from that. Over the years, I've got a huge collection of all kinds of fabrics, and a lot of them are bigger because I have, and I will, if I can remember, video those for you. I have done artwork for my home that is like 20 by 24, 20 by 30 sized, and so it took a lot more fabric of one choice than just a charm pack. Now, when I first did it, I started with 6-inch charm packs, and then I went to 10-inch charm packs. And then I went to buying specialty fabrics, like, for instance, this one, or this was a batik, but it had definite, beautiful colors in it. This was a batik. Isn't that beautiful? This is a batik. So you can see the color ranges of all these things. Now this is a specific where I could cut out specific flowers or something like that out of it. So you just, as you go along, you build, but you don't go out and buy everything at one time. Do not do that, because you just outprice yourself right off the bat. You don't need to do that. And let me show you too. I have a drawer of all my offcuts. I don't throw anything away because I can use all of this. You know, this becomes a stem, okay? This becomes part of a tree. This becomes grasses and leaves and things like that. There's just no end to what you can do with all these things. So, as you can see, I keep it in a drawer and I work out of it. Okay, so that's just to help you to see what you might be thinking about and what you might already have in your stash, okay? Now, everything in here has been heat bonded. You can see that everything has a paper backing on it because everything has been heat bonded, all right? And we will go into that when we get ready to start. So whatever heat bonding or fusible web you decide to use, you will use your manufacturer's instructions for putting it onto the back of your fabric. And so we'll go from that. So anyway, I hope that this has been a little bit of an introduction that will get your creative juices stirred up, where you can visualize yourself making something beautiful. Believe me, it's easy. I would not lie to you. It's very, very easy. The hardest part will come in choosing what you want. For instance, when I started this one, I knew what I wanted for my pot. I just loved that coloration in that fabric. I had no clue what I was going to do here. And by the way, all of this was worked out of that drawer of little tiny stuff. It's all the little leftover stuff that I used. And you can see where I use things like just little offcuts of things here. A stem, little circles that were already there. These flowers I cut out of a piece that was there. Okay, so it's just deciding what colors you want to blend together, what shape you want to use, and how you want to position them. That's where the guide comes in. Because when you start out, if you don't have any experience in composition, arranging, you get lost real fast. So that guide will keep us on track, and I will be using it to showing you how to use it so that it'll be easy for you. And then as you get more and more experience, you'll throw a guide away and you create your own things, just like I did here. Okay. All right. So let's do this. All right. Till next time. Let's all stay very scrap happy.